Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So let's get into this article that I saw. It's about Joel Osteen and how he paid off $100 million loan for his church. And my question is to all my people, the church that you go to, could they get $100 million loan? And could you get $100 million loan, or even $1 million loan for anything that you do, a business? You know how hard it is, all this red tape you got to go through to get houses, right? But how was Joel Osteen able to get $100 million for his church? Anyway, like I said, let's get into it. This is from thecron.com, and it reads, it took Joel Osteen just 19 years to pay off Lakewood's $100 million loan. 19 years, what's that? 20 years, that would have been, what, $5 million a year without interest. So let's say he paid anywhere from like $5 to $6 million per year on this, to pay this loan off. And like he paid it off early. They say on Sunday, the pastor of one of America's largest and wealthiest congregations broke down when he announced the megachurch paid off its massive debt. Pastor Joel Osteen broke down on stage at Houston's Lakewood Church this past weekend, crying as he told the packed house that the donations paid off its $100 million debt. Quote, "It's because of your faithfulness," Joel Osteen told his congregation. "You paid it off by the goodness of God." End quote. For more than 2 decades, Osteen has led the non-denominational church, Lakewood Church, one of America's largest and wealthiest congregations. Osteen took over the pulpit after his father and church founder John Osteen died in 1999, and has since grown the church's weekly attendance from an average of 5,000 to more than 50,000, while amassing 200 million weekly viewers through his TV broadcasts and digital platforms worldwide. The church is big business. This is why you hear a lot of people asking, why don't the church pay taxes? Because even the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach, even he said, render to Caesar what's due to Caesar's. It was due to the Most High. You give to the Most High. I don't think he said anywhere that give to Caesar except the churches. Because from what studies show, that if all the churches gave the taxes, and churches are exempt, was a 501c3, they're exempt from like federal taxes. But state and local, that depends on your jurisdiction. But they can be, and then even a federal, they say some churches just don't even do the 501c3 and pay taxes so they can be transparent to their followers and stuff. I'm not sure about this church here, but hey, it is what it is. But they say if these churches paid their taxes, that'd be like over $1 trillion per year brought in by the government, paid to the government, which would go to, to go to the population. But shoot, the government make a lot of money off taxes now. You see where it's going. Where's it going right now? Like overseas, help fund wars, bringing them, that migrants come in and help take care of them. So, hell, I ain't tripping if they don't pay taxes. Hell, if I can get away with not paying taxes, I would do it myself. It says back in 2001, Osteen signed a 60-year lease with the city to move from its 7,800 seat sanctuary in Northeast Houston to the Compact Center, the Houston Rockets arena boasting 16,000 seats, Osteen recalled. The pastor paid $1.5 million in rent using money left to the church by his late father. So see, this church started in 1959. This wealth that they amassed wasn't overnight. It took a long time to build that wealth, and then the father passed away, and then Joel Osteen took over. Now, from what I remember reading or seeing, the dad wanted Joel Osteen's older brother to take over the church, because Joel Osteen was like working behind the camera. It's something in that form of fashion. But the older son didn't want to take over the church, so Joel took over the church. And the rest is history. But the point is, his father left a legacy. Now, that's something in the scriptures too that tells you that, you're supposed to leave a legacy for your children. That's all he did through the church. When Lakewood officially relocated in 2005, the pastor sought out more money to renovate the former NBA arena, aiming to redesign the outdoor facade and to construct the indoor stage to replace the locker rooms and food stands with meeting rooms and childcare spaces, and to erect an adjacent 5-story building to include Lakewood's television production offices, among other necessary projects. The little town I live in, or live right outside of, I would say they have about at least five churches within a 1 mile radius on Martin Luther King. And I mean, like, small town. It's just a little town. It's growing, but that little area is known as the black side of town. And they got like 5 churches, and maybe one or two maybe have a decent looking facade. The rest of them just look like old churches that was erected back during the Jim Crow civil rights era and still trying to hang on. When I look at it, I'm like, man, why in the heck are there so many churches in this one little neighborhood? And you wonder why Black American folks, even in religion, seems like we cannot get together for the common cause. Been to church where, the pastor's son is one of the preachers, and it's already some hatred because when the pastor passes away or steps down, then he's going to give the church to that person, or the son, or he has a favorite, assistant preacher that he's going to pass his church down to, and people get mad, getting their feelings, and so they branch off to different churches. I wonder if that happened in Joel Osteen church. I don't know. They ain't heard about it. They ain't heard no stories about it. At least not now. At least not recently. But I wonder. But whatever it is, you see where it's at now. It's multi-million, probably multi-billion-dollar church now. Where are we at? There you go. Osteen struck out with the first financial institution he admitted before Bank of America offered him a $25 million check for his construction loan, and after some relatively quick negotiations, the bank agreed to increase his lending to $100 million. I wonder what the numbers were, the financials were, to where the bank said, okay, we'll give you $100 million. Like I said, church is big business, or it should be. It can be, I guess, if done correctly. But I'm gonna get into that, because for every story like this, there are stories of the total opposite, especially when it comes to black banks. It says, as of December 31st of last year, we have officially paid off the $100 million loan, Osteen said to a standing ovation on Sunday. The pastor put his hands to his face, stopping himself and using tissues to wipe his tears. He praised God and reminded the crowd that the church continued to spend millions of dollars on his ministry and on his media production that reaches so many across the globe. I don't think my biggest problem with mega churches is that they bring this message worldwide. But for some reason, the cities that they are in, the people that come to their congregation continue to be poor. There continue to be an uptick in poverty. And from what I recall, reading and things of that nature, that the church used to be the foundation. I'm talking about the black community. So Joel Osteen, no, is not a black American pastor. I get it. But I'm going to tie it all in here soon, hopefully. But the church would be the catalyst for the community, especially in the black American community, because you had so many things on the outside trying to hold the black community back or keep them away from, benefiting from some things. So the community would come together and they would come through even like meetings. We had meetings, civil rights meetings, NAACP meetings, everything was in the church. Matter of fact, is it Langston University, HBCU in Houston? They wanted to build a university, and I believe the banks or the government, one told them, we'll help you build it, but you have to raise so much money first. And the church and the community through the church had fundraisers, like a big bake sale, and they came up with the money. But now all you see is these prosperity preachers on TV, black, white, Indian, Hindu, whatever, Asian looking, American. All they do is preach this prosperity sermons, and there's nothing behind it. There's no community outreach. They swear they're doing stuff in the community, but it's like, how? Because my thing is this. If you're doing things and you're doing things through the Most High, no, you don't have to go out there and announce it, but it will be seen. People will know what's going on, and your praises and your blessings will be, I guess, bestowed upon you. But the world will know, because there's supposed to be a difference in from when the church do it and when the world does it. You see what I'm saying? People are supposed to know when the Most High do it compared to when Satan does it. But for some reason, like, you know what? Let me finish this, because it's a part of the story I want to get to. Osteen and his wife Victoria are beloved by their overwhelming mass of followers, yet criticized for preaching so-called prosperity gospel, the belief that people can escape poverty and even find wealth through devotion to God. The tax-exempt church reportedly paid back the $4.4 million it received in COVID-19 disaster funds through the Paycheck Protection Program in 2021 after receiving backlash on social media. The pastors who said they do not receive a salary from the church, instead amasses their wealth from book sales and the like, claiming none of the federal funding went to them. I heard they made like $70 million on books, DVDs, things they sell, and speeches throughout the year. Man, church is a big business. So you don't necessarily have to make money from the church, but they can use the church to help promote themselves. You get on there, speak a good word, make people feel good. People will give you money, and then you can go and if you become famous, people will buy your books. People will come to your speeches. It's just, like I say, using one thing to help grow something else. It's like me getting on here and shamelessly plugging my cologne and my perfume, right? This is the cologne I got is called Ochako. It's a man's cologne. Smells, great. Women love it. This here is the Silic. Yes, it is Silic. That is Choctaw for silk. Ochako, that's Choctaw for blue. And this is Rose des Soleil, which is silk rose, or rose of silk, or whatever the case may be. This is the perfume. You can go to www.marlonmorale.com and purchase yours for you or someone that you love, that you want to smell good with, and go out at night on town or wear it before, put it on in the morning, and it lasts all day. But my point is, I could get on here, do videos, but also use this platform to promote other things like this. So I guess that's what the church, these preachers are doing, I believe. It's Lakewood Church is now mostly debt free. Osteen said Sunday, with only a smaller loan remaining for capital equipment. I'm just kind of tripping out on how these churches get loans and why would they need loans. If you're taking in tithes and offerings, shouldn't all that money go back into the church so you can build? But somehow a bank would give you a loan. Well, I guess because they know or feel that you're going to make all this tax-free money, so there's a better chance of you paying it back. But for some reason, that's not always the case. Let's see what God has done for Lakewood. He is going to do in your life. Osteen continued, turning his news into his message. I believe in 2024, you will see God release you from some things that have held you back, release you from debt, release you from addiction, release you from wrong mindsets. Say Osteen, who said he held season tickets to the Houston Rockets when he was in his 20s and had his first date with Victoria in the arena, also described how the city sold the Compact Center to Lakewood Church in 2010 for $7.5 million. Now, so he had his first date with his wife now, Victoria, at a basketball game. So he knew he had him a down chick, but you got these women getting on here on social media talking about you can't take it to Applebee's or what's it called? Whatever, the Cheesecake Factory. Can't take them to dates like that, but shoot, back in the day, the Rockets tickets probably wasn't that much. And they went to their first date to a Houston Rockets game, and she was good with him and stuck with him since then. That's what I'm talking about. This building, every time I come in, it's a testament that God's dream for your life is much bigger than your own. You keep honoring God, you keep doing the right thing. God's going to take you where you never imagined, Osteen said, later adding, we paid cash. We paid it all. So now we officially own the building. I remember I went to church used to go to church in Louisville, Texas, Westside Baptist Church. I remember they got a loan. It was in an older building, and they got a loan to build a newer church. I think I went there for a little bit. But I think it didn't take that long for them to pay the loan off. So Victoria Osteen chimed in, paraphrasing the book of Matthew, when you are faithful with a little, God will make you ruler over much, she said. This building and this journey has not only been a journey of faithfulness of our God, but faithfulness of this ministry. See, these articles, either AI or they have terrible editors. Just because the spell check doesn't come up, you still need to reread your work. Because this says, when you're YOUR faithful with little, it's supposed to be when you are, like your YOU apostrophe RE faithful. When you are faithful with little, God will make you ruler over much. But hey, I went to private school for a few years when I was younger. So, I mean, hey, we used to read all the time. Maybe why but I used to get mad when my kids used to come home with a project or like a written English project. I do like a summary or report, and they come and bring it to me. They get like an A or a B on it, and I'm reading. It's like, how in the heck did you get an A on this? This is terrible. And Dad, I turned it in. Teacher said it's good. Gave me an A. Nah, that's why we're gonna be reading over the summer. Because no. Don't let me see the next one, because I'm gonna have you read it, proofread, and redo it like 5 times, like I used to have to do back in the day when I was going to school. Let's see, the pastors introduced members of the church's business staff to the audience and then ripped apart an apparent loan document. All done, Joel Osteen said to an applause. You remember a couple years back when they found his money hidden in the wall, said somebody stole it. $600,000 was stolen. And I ain't gonna say it was nothing thought of, but good Lord, it wasn't no big deal. I love them when they found it. It was like, oh, okay, thank you. And it is what it is. They made no big deal. And doing an investigation and just said thank you and kept it moving. But I wanted to say this story because I want to bring in this book here. It's called The Color of Money, Black Banks and the Racial Wealth Gap. Great read. I read it not too long ago, maybe a few months back. But when I saw this article, this is the first book I thought of, because I remember it said something in here about churches, black churches, and loans. So went through and we'll read like a couple of little excerpts, and then I'll be done with that. Let's say this is on page 43, because I want you to know, like, just when Joel Osteen did it, maybe Creflo Dollar, maybe TD Jakes, I don't know, but it doesn't happen like that all the time. This is on page 43. It says the affiliation between the Black Bank and the Black Church was therefore a double-edged sword, bolstering support for the banks, but raising expectation that these institutions would treat clients as friends and not as customers, or even more unsettlingly, as debtors. This conflict was not limited to affiliated banks. Black bankers often complained that black customers expected black banks to give them more favorable deposit rates or lending terms than white institutions offered. The touchy relationship between these banks and the communities they serve was inevitable, given the paradoxical pursuit of these banks. These banks represented uplift, progress, but they were businesses, which meant that there would always be a conflict between the black bankers' dual roles as lenders and community leaders. And that's a problem. You know how it is. You got friends, family, you got some money, you start making some money, go to school, go to college, get a degree, start a business, or work for a company, work your way up, making good money. And then all of a sudden, everybody want a loan. Everybody got an idea. Want you to give them some money so they can help them out. And they think that your money is their money. You help them out at first and nothing, but they never come through what they say they're going to come through with. So then you be the one to be like, I'm done, not lending no more money, not helping you out. And then they get mad at you because they expect to borrow money from you. But then when you ask for it back, they have a problem. They get upset, want to fight, want to disown you for asking for the money that you lent them. Which is one reason why I tell family, friends, and anybody else, if anybody, especially family, if anybody comes and borrow money, never loan them money. Don't ever look for it back, is what I originally said. But now I just say, don't loan them money. Just give it to them. If you're going to give them some money, just give it to them. I think I read someone, was a Cedric Entertainer, I believe, said he had like an account or he had a system where family would ask for money. He said, here, and they said they asked for 100. He said, no, here go 1,000. I'm just paraphrasing. So here go 1,000. But you take this 1,000, you can't never ask them for nothing else. And he meant it. If they come back asking for money, it's like, no, I gave you the money, gave you more than what you asked for, leave it alone. But that's how you got to do, like friends and family, especially like in our community. I know we go through that a lot. I done had former in-laws borrow money or buy stuff and claim they're going to pay it over time, thinking, this is my family, they're going to look out for me, and ain't paid for it, ain't pay it. And then when you bring it back up, it's an argument. It's like a fight. And it's like, don't even worry about it. We ain't going to let money. I got friends who owe me money right now, but I let it go a long time ago because it ain't really worth it. It may not be as close, so I can say, hey, we can't never borrow no money from me again, or we can't never go into this business ever again because I saw how you did me before. But anyway, that brings me to this next little passage in the book, and this is on page 274. You need to get this book. Like seriously, seriously get the book. I may put a link in the description. I ain't getting no pay, ain't getting no money from it for whatever, but you need to get this book for real. Because we always talking about bridging the racial wealth gap and leaving legacies and stuff for our kids. But, you have to understand about banks, talk about putting money in black banks. These black banks, and this was another article that came out not too long about the Greenwood Bank, and they said that it's really not a bank, and it's like not doing what they said it was going to be able to do, like when it first opened a few years ago, because black banks ain't banks. They don't treat them like banks. They never have. That's why the black community can never get rich dealing with black banks because of all the red tape and the stuff they had to go through. But again, read this book. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing. But anyway, let's see here. It says, I could start a little early. I don't want to read all of it. But it talks about how some of these federal banks lose a lot of money, loaning money to black banks. So let's see. It says, I'll read this little part here. In interviews, black bankers explained that they try to offer modifications to black churches whenever possible. Jim Silas of M&F recounted that in 104 years of lending to black churches, the bank had seen only 2 failures because the bank always tried to work with the church first. So basically, a lot of these churches borrow money for renovations, building fund, stuff that they take offerings and stuff from us like every week. But we make jokes that nothing is ever done, nothing is ever built. They ain't hadn't even got a air conditioned window unit yet after 20 years. I mean, it's real life stuff. But this thing here says, this book says, let's say other mainstream banks are not so merciful. Bankruptcy law expert Pamela Fuy's research revealed that Black churches make up about 75% of bankrupt congregations over the last decade. This number is astonishing because Black churches represent only 21% of churches nationwide. Fuy uncovered a stunning case of discrimination by creditors. Lenders not only charged Black churches more for credit, but disproportionately denied their loan modification requests, pushing these churches toward bankruptcy. Fuy rejected other possibilities that might account for the disparities, such as type of denomination, location, financial resources, management structure, financial decisions, or views on bankruptcy. This finding corroborates empirical research showing that Black borrowers are also steered toward more costly Chapter 13 bankruptcy than a more borrower-friendly Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So basically what it says is, my point is to tie it all together. I'm sure Joel Osteen got a good loan, good interest rate. Matter of fact, in one article I read, it said that he said they was at the church offices and the reps from Bank of America came to him. The first bank he went to, and they said, no, we're not giving you a $25 million loan. Bank of America went to him and offered him $25 million. And then they negotiated to $100 million. And they said, okay. Like I said, I want to know what the numbers were. I would love to read it to figure out how did he do that. Am I going to say it's racially motivated between him and the other Black banks? No, because, well, the amount of money could be. But like a lot of the Black banks, they get loans too. They just say that 75% of the bankruptcies that the banks go through are something this is why I question. This is why you continue to question the church. The church makes you question church and religion. Really makes you think about it, really makes you sit there and meditate and pray and fast over things like this, because I wonder, why would a church need to borrow money from a bank? Because you're ordained from the Most High, right? You should have enough money. If the Most High wanted you to grow, He will provide through the congregation, through your teaching of the word. Think you might be trying to grow too fast? Black churches, we don't have Black people in general in the past didn't know a lot about tax laws or loans, the ins and out, reading the fine print. All they know is, hey, we're going to borrow some. They didn't have business people on their staff. All they know is want to borrow some money to get the church some new pews or some central air conditioning or some more Martin Luther King funeral home fans. But not really understanding intricacies of business. That banking is a business. Banking is not your friends. And it goes to show you that, no, you don't borrow from your friends and you don't lend to your friends. Me, I try to not. I think I borrowed money, like real money, from a friend of mine years ago when I was young. I want to say like 19, 20, 21 years old. Because I had an engine burn up on me. I need to get another car, something happened to it. Had to get some engine work done. It didn't burn up on me. A bolt broke inside the engine and it cost like $500-$600. And I needed to get it done. And I didn't have the money. So I had a friend of mine who offered. But I know myself, I know that if I borrow money from it, I'm going to pay it back. I'm going to figure it out, I'm going to pay it back. So I created a plan, told her how much I'm going to pay every week, every paycheck. and I paid them back. The only person I probably borrowed money from after that was my dad, my parents. That's about it. But other than that, shoot, man, I went the payday loan, the title loan, not payday, but title loan, stuff like that, which looking back, I hate I did it, but I was off, but I knew I could pay it back pretty quick. The timing was always perfect. It's coming around about income tax time, or I'll make enough money to where I know that I could pay them off in a matter of weeks. But it was just something happened to where I could not take care of an emergency at that point. But as I got older, I learned, I got wiser, and I feel I manage money a little better than I used to, which is what you do when you get older and you grow and you mature, you figure this stuff out. And so, like I'm saying, that if it's ordained by the Most High, you can start out small, like with my first apartment, $425, all bills paid, just one bedroom, heat didn't work, air conditioning didn't work. In the wintertime, got the oven on. In the summertime, we got the windows up and fans blowing from one side of the apartment to the other. I don't remember having too many roaches though. I really don't. I don't think we had any, to tell you the truth. I think we fumigated pretty good there. But anyway, it was moved from there into another apartment, to another apartment, to another apartment, and eventually get a house, get a divorce, started back in an apartment, another apartment, and then, get remarried or what have you, then get another house. So I mean, it's a struggle. It's hard and it takes time. Like I say, Joel Osteen Church been open since 1959. But a lot of us want to sit here and try to make money real quick. Think it's gonna come overnight, and it doesn't. It doesn't happen that way. And a lot of us have to learn the hard way, because we can't get $100 million loan. Even if we did have a business that's been open since 1959, or if we've been banking with that bank for 10, 20 years, you want to get a loan and they won't give it to you. Want to give you a few $1,000s to help you fix your car or to, renovate something in the house. They want you to put it through your loan and extend your loan with your equity, stuff like that. When you ain't trying to do that. But anyway, that's all I got for this story, man. I just wanted to bring it to you. I didn't want to get too deep, because I know if I go too deep, I'll be here for a long time, and I had to end up reading this whole book to you about the black bank, and it's another book back there about the taxes and how it's not for us either. You need to read that. I already put that out there in the universe for y'all to go look it up. So look that up too. Anyway, in the meanwhile, like I said before, go to marlonmorale.com. Get your Ochoco cologne. Get your Salique perfume for the lady in your life, and get that Rose des Soleil. Also, this is that Salique. Like I say, we got 3 of the best fragrances. I'm working on 3 more, so we can get them out there and get y'all smelling right. Get y'all smelling like $1 million bucks, so I can go in them banks and get them $100 million loans. But anyway, tell me what you think about the story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. Let's talk, y'all. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.